So one thing I've really been sitting with, and that which I sit with every month at the full moon, is what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of that is no longer serving me? What do I need to let go of that is no longer serving others? What do I need to let go of that is not working anymore? And on a very basic level, this is what a full moon is for. The opposition energy of the moon and the sun opposing each other, being in different signs, gives us that tension, I feel. That tension that creates, it's this tension between the moon, our emotions, our rituals, our daily routines, and our nourishment of our body, with the sun, our vitality, our heart, our life force. They're different, and so these two planets in these two opposing signs create this huge amount of power that's very ripe for letting go. And so this month in the sign of Taurus, this full moon in Taurus, I feel is challenging me, and perhaps is challenging others, to really reflect on themes of what does it mean to have. Taurus is about having, owning. What does it mean to have comfort? What does it mean to have like tangible material support? And those can go, just like any of this stuff. These energies can all be interpreted in so many different ways. Taurus can be interpreted in a materialistic, capitalistic way. I need to have money. I need to hoard money. I need to gain money at all costs over people. However, we also know as abolitionists that we do need to have money at this current point in time to redistribute to others. So we are, in a sense, redefining, letting go of the old beliefs that we have to have a savings account, we have to have XYZ and RRSP, or we have to have a home, which means we have to buy a home, which means we have to cut the lawn, which means we have to, right? That's what it means to have in imperialist, in the imperial core especially. So as abolitionists, how are we reflecting on this and letting go of some of those things? So, of course, we can all, if we all really take the time to map our own privilege, we can see where we have, both. At least for a lot of the people that I'm around here in the imperial core, many of us can see where we have access and where we don't. Radical self-care is really the process of navigating those privileges and determining what my beliefs are about deservingness. What are my beliefs about deservingness? Both, what do I think I deserve? What have I been told I deserve? What does the world say I deserve by what it gives me? Radical self-care in and of itself is not the outer work of liberation. We're talking about the inner work of liberation, right? We're talking about undoing the shit within ourselves, taking care of ourselves when empire tells us we are not allowed to, right? I think that's part of the deservingness factor of changing ideas about what we deserve. Because in this world, right, like white, cisgendered, able-bodied men, they are the most deserving people. They deserve to take a bubble bath whenever the fuck they want. But black women, black queer women, indigenous queer women, two-spirit folks, right, black trans folks, systems say they deserve the least. So realizing, That, again, it's not about the action. Lighting a candle could be radical self-care. Going out to do a community action where I am giving up my privilege so that another person can possibly have it. I'm giving up my privilege in order to stand in solidarity with someone. That could be an act of radical self-care, because it is unraveling my ideas of who deserves what, and the idea that I deserve more than others, because it's so indoctrinated into us, right? To look after ourselves first, to be entitled. And at the same time, many of us also hold marginalized identities where we have been told, you don't deserve this. It's very confusing, and I think it's intentionally that way. On one hand, we're told that we're entitled. On the other hand, we're also told we're not enough. And I think the systems really do that to us. The systems really confuse the shit out of us to keep us in our place. I think this is the whole point, is keeping us in our place, having us believe these things. So to move on from this, Taurus and Scorpio are both fixed signs. This is where the full moon is happening, right? And this Mars-Pluto opposition also happened. Well, actually, Mars was in a cardinal sign in Cancer, and Pluto was in Capricorn. But Pluto is going to be moving into a fixed sign of Aquarius, and Mars is now in a fixed sign of Leo. So I personally see this energy upcoming as more of a fixed energy. And what I'm personally sort of pulling from that, what I'm really feeling from this time, is that fixed energy, because fixed energy is about endurance. It's about sticking with something. It is the middle part of the journey. It can be stubborn. Fixed energy does the things and shows up to the things that have been started, regardless of where it's at. And I think that this can apply, yes, we do need people like starting new things for sure. Like, yeah, like I'm not going to say nobody should start anything fucking new. The lens of anti-blackness being the root of anti-oppression, because I don't think all groups are going by that. So I'm going to say, if I'm holding up the lens of like anti-oppressive groups that have anti-blackness at the root of systems of oppression, and are abolitionist, won't work with cops, and are pulled away from nonprofits, there aren't a lot. However, I think there are quite a few that, if everybody else who is even remotely for revolution, even remotely for collective liberation, even remotely for abolition of the current systems, if they simply sort of got behind these groups, I think that there could be a lot more change than people starting their own groups. And yeah, like I struggle to say this, because I'm also like, well, we don't just want to get together just to get together. I also think it's more important that we actually be aligned than just getting together to get together, and that we have that quality over quantity, like, maybe 10 people organizing together who really, are aligned with one another in terms of what they're doing, versus a lot of people coming together who don't really, like, maybe there's one thing they align on, and it's kind of a surface thing. And I think what I'm trying to say here is that what I'm really feeling here with this fixed energy is that for people who are coming in new, I really want to say, and who am I like, whatever, like, take or leave this shit. This is just my thought based on the astrology and what I'm observing, is that it's really, really, really important to learn from the people who have already started things and to get involved with groups that are already doing things. I think we have to cultivate this staying power, this fixed energy, this sticking, what can I choose and stick with it, instead of what other new things can I create. And yeah, like, okay, new things are gonna happen. What needs to be done regularly? And what can I commit to? What can I really do on a daily basis? What can I put my weight behind? And I think that's all kind of in tandem with this idea of what does it mean to have and what does it mean to deserve, and who deserves things in our society and who doesn't, and where do I lie in all of that.